Hey guys, what's up? My name's Theo. I play middle linebacker for the Hilversum Hurricanes. That is in the Netherlands, that is in Europe. I play Euroball. Yes, I speak English. Technically, many of the Dutch, a lot of the Dutch do here. So yeah, but I am an American and I do play overseas. Welcome to my channel. I vlog every single day, but Mondays and Fridays are devoted to football content because those line up with practice schedule for my team. We are on a winter break right now for December because the Dutch have their Sinterklaas at the beginning of December, and then Christmas at the end of December, and then New Year's, and the blowing up, and the fireworks, and the... So in the Friday videos, like this one, I answer previous comments from videos, but as the regular season for American football in the States, which is where most of those views come from, is winding down, especially, you know, like, it's December, high school's over with, middle school, not many comments are coming in. However, there is one today that this video is devoted to. So there won't be any news because nothing new has really happened. I explained on Monday the new kickoff thing, which apparently the XFL does, but the ELF is going to be doing it this year or this next coming season. They've also added 3 teams. I should probably maybe go over that one soon. It's currently lunchtime for me, so I'm eating my veggie. Marinated tomato. It's marinated tomatoes with feta cheese, and I have baby carrots. Because I'm trying to see if I can lose a little bit of weight and not let winter plus lockdowns pack things on. Middle linebacker, not a defensive tackle. Okay, so going back to about 4 days ago. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 4 days ago. Shane Ovalis says, love this vid. It's the replica helmet for the Panthers. That helmet. I bought it from Green Gridiron, and it's a functional helmet. You know, he's like, I love this vid. Yeah, that's the helmet. I can put it on, and it fits my head because it's an adult large. I could practically go to practice. It's fully safe, but I don't want to get it dinged up. And then, as I said, there's not many comments coming in. There's a lot of comments, but none of them are football related. There's one that says, you know, for the weird kickoff for ELF, red and green is Christmassy at least. Meanwhile, you've got a second career on hand as teacher or football consultant. I don't think so, not right now. The fact that red and green are Christmassy is a bit of my colorblindness triggering because everyone has made an absolute deal and pounded it home that red and green is very Christmassy. So this time of year gets really funky because I don't see the wonderful, pretty decorations that like everybody else sees. I don't care. Like, the fact that winter stop is happening because of holidays bugs me, but that's a personal thing. And the fact that red and green is literally everywhere this time of year, at least in the States, it's bad. I feel like I maybe should have chosen different colors so that I could tell the difference and not incur a red and green thing again. Maybe I should just throw the green one out. Anyways, but yeah, that's on the kickoff rule. I used red for one team and green for the other. In terms of being a teacher or a football consultant, I don't know about that. I'm trying not to think about the future too terribly much, at least the extended future. Obviously, everybody has to think of the future at some point. Like right now, people are like in the next comment, people are looking forward to the next season. You can look towards the future, but I'm trying not to dwell on what stuff could happen way in the future. I did that for many years before, and nothing in the present worked out because I was spending too much time 5 years in the future. I'm trying to make the chess move now for something far later that the world can just absolutely mess up. In 2014, I started playing American football for semi-pro team over in Portland, Oregon. By 2018, I was moving to the Netherlands. My 5-year plan didn't work. But that wasn't a thing. My husband still worked for a call center at the time. But yeah, like, I can't plan that far out. I can do a little tip hat, but like, I don't know where the world takes me because as is the last 10 years, the world has been functioning way faster than the original boomer Gen X idea of the 5-year plan. Like, I've even tried to rationalize a 5-year plan. The world moves too fast. Like, literally, I've tried to make a 1-year plan and things go screwy. That's outside of the pandemic. Pure Gamer, 2 days ago, edited the comment. But we'll say this because that's, I think, when I saw the comment. It was just probably correcting typos. What do I do, man? I'm starting left guard and trying to transition to linebacker, and I've been watching everything how to play it. But they play a 5-3-3 defense, and he's in middle school. Well, first of all, middle school football, you've got a lot to work. Like, I'm not saying you're bad, but in middle school football is middle school football. So I said, hey there, little bro, I'll answer this on the Friday video. In the comment response. Again, this is going to be the rest of the video. 5-3-3 is tough because it's all run defense. Like, if that's what, and I understand that's what the youth team that I used to go watch and support, because one of the kids didn't have a dad around, reasons. So having some sort of older guy figure from the semi-pro team that he would be water boy for, come and watch his games was, great. But anyways, they sometimes did 5-3-3 because when you're that young, you can't really throw very far. So there's no reason to really have you can still train someone to be a free safety, but no kids are really running that far. Just in case that free safety can take care of everything, but they're usually pretty close in. So as left guard, that's an offense position. You're trying to transition to linebacker. That's a bit awkward. However, you can shift over pretty easily. 5-3-3, that's 5 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, and 3 defensive backs. It's just so weird, even though technically we play a 4-3-4. And I'm middle linebacker. And as I think of the box defense, technically there's 2 defense. There's a bunch of people that have theories on stuff. This is just my generalized autistic theory. There's a small triangle that functions as all the linemen and the middle linebacker. This can go out to like a trapezoid, but you'd have a 3 and then 2 middle linebackers, because you'd have a 3-4. But that would be like your little trapezoid. But you have your inside linebackers and your linemen, your outside linebackers and your defensive backs. So you have the outside and the inside. I think of it because it's that little like triangle plugging in. So it's just how my brain thinks of it. What you would do as an offensive guard is work on defensive lineman stuff and then start working on coverage. Because if you're good at coverage, then you can be a middle linebacker. You don't have to be super good at coverage, or they're going to stick you at outside linebacker. Now, there is also the really weird idea of outside linebacker that is not in a 3-point stance, but a 2-point stance that's actually defensive end. And in some defenses, those defensive ends may go out into flats coverage. But that's the key to take you from lineman to linebacker, is to work on your speed, hip flexibility, and coverage area. So you don't have to worry about covering long distances. You do not have to run with receivers necessarily. You don't have to run with the long running guys. If there's someone out there like, I can beat you in 20 yards, fine. Let them beat you. You're not a corner. You're not a free safety. You don't have to worry about that. As a linebacker, as a middle linebacker, you're already 5 off. 3 to 5 off. You're not on the actual line. You're a backer. Assuming it's pass, you can back up a little bit more to middle coverage. Tampa 2, whatever it's called. And you're only backing up a little bit, and you can look left, look right. That's the idea. If you're a lineman and you want to get back to playing linebacker, you got to work on coverage. If you're a defensive back, now this goes the other way. If you're a defensive back, like a strong safety, and you want to work on becoming a linebacker, you got to start working with your upfront ideas, like getting into the line, getting more aggressive with big boys. That's pretty much that. Now, let's talk about that weird offside case. Let's talk about the outside guys. So the outside linebackers that are technically defensive ends, like they're lined up on the line maybe a yard off and they're in a 2-point stance. Maybe they're in a 3-point stance. Like Von Miller is considered an outside linebacker, but he sits in the same position as many other guys that are considered defensive ends. Defensive end lineman. And I guess it's just the difference between like an edge rusher and a pass rusher sort of thing. I'm still trying to figure out the difference between those, and I'm not sure. It seems to be whatever you want to be called. I'm trying to find a sort of like scientific difference. Like, a tomato is a fruit because it is the fruiting part of a plant. Even though it's not sweet, it still has a biological classification of fruit. Carrots are roots. But anyways, getting off track here. And I don't know if there is one about the defensive end. But that's the general idea. If you want to be even like the defensive end that can bounce out into coverage, one of my teams, the defense guy was the defense coordinator was trying to confuse everyone by utilizing DC villains and heroes as calls because nobody understands that sort of nerdy stuff. And I'm like, well, I do, but okay. More football players are nerdier than you think, but anyways, so there's Penguin? I'm not gonna Penguin or something like that. There was one of them where the outside linebackers, because we ran 3-4, the outside linebackers ran in and the defensive ends went out. So you still had the ends covered, but they were covered by like a switch. And it wasn't run often, but the defensive ends were able to like jut forward and then back out and kind of do that sideways run thing, run out to the flats, or at least the hook to curl, depending on if we were in cover 1 or cover 2. But if a running back ran out to the side, they could follow them because they were already designed to go out towards that area. And if they saw someone spilling out, they could cover them. It was a really weird play. It was played fairly often, from what I remember, but I didn't get to do much of it. I wasn't playing much on that team that year. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And I hope this helps. That going from lineman to linebacker, you want to work on your coverage stuff. You're already getting up into the face of people, but after a fashion, as a linebacker, going from offensive lineman, you want to work on moving forward. It's all, think you're on a run play, but it's all the time. That's what you need to think of. You still have to do the idea, but as an offensive guard, you know the difference between a pass and a run play, because that's what offense is. They plan all their plays. And as a linebacker, you're leaning more towards run than pass. So that's kind of the funky thing, is defensive backs are a bit more pass than run, but they still need to take that into account. But linebackers are more run than pass. Defensive linemen, like if you got a really weird play like that one I just described, you're pretty much always run. And like as a free safety, you're always pass. But that's the idea about like strong safeties, roll down safeties, jacks, bucks, outside linebackers, middle linebackers. You are a hybrid in the middle of the field. You're not all run and you're not all pass. You got to figure out what it is. And what makes the difference between that is like 66% run, 33% pass, or 66% pass, 33% run. That's really the core difference. So if you think about it, you always would work as a run first defense is what I utilize as a middle linebacker. Run first defense. So I'm standing in my position on my toes, leaning forward, got my arms engaged, and the ball gets hiked 1-2 steps. If I see hi-hat from the offensive guard that, I can see clearly because, defensive and all that stuff was strong side. The one that I can see the best. If he pops up and starts doing his little back step thing, pass play. Yell pass, back up a little bit. Still kind of step towards my thing just in case it's an RPO. But usually it's a pass, especially when the quarterback gets his ball wide up here and he's looking around looking for the receiver. At that point, I need to go left and right. And there's where your coverage comes in. Let the defensive lineman run forward. However, let's get back to the 5-3-3. You have no run protection as a linebacker in that. It's stupid. And it's easy because you can get a lot of fat boys to be on the line and you can pretty much block up every hole. But that leaves What is the point of the middle linebacker at that point? Your cleanup. And sometimes in our playbook that happens. I'm the cleanup, you know? Before, like if you have the 4 guys up front and they're both going through the center and you have your outside linebackers have their protection as the B gaps and the defensive ends have the C gaps, well, guess what? I have cleanup on that because I'm usually in one of the A gaps. But if they're both taken up by defensive linemen and the outside linebackers are taken in the thing, that's fine. I have cleanup on that, which means I watch to see where that run is coming from. If it's a pass play, I don't really have cleanup. That's only the run defense. And if there's no running back there, I gotta run out to the side and find him. And that's part of the thing about alignment versus that is sometimes you're gonna be man up on the running back. And if that running back decides he's going to go run horizontal 10, 15 yards and then catch the ball and try to make it upfield, guess what? You got to chase him. But he knows which direction he's going. You got to do that. So you got to be a little faster than him. And that's why you got to step forward. It's because you got to step forward to get your momentum going so that you can change direction fast enough to see which way he's going. And yes, I say he, and I know that's really bad. By and large, it's mostly guys that are watching this. There are women that play American football, but 90% guys. I am assuming the gender. Anyways, I hope this helps. I'll chat with you guys later. If you want to have much more ideas about linebacker stuff, I put a playlist up here. It's all my stuff about linebackers. And this video is going in there. So I will chat with you later. Bye.